Hey, hello, good morning, guys. This is Cody with Goutham, and guys, today we will be talking about my first year of TSA. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, guys, so what is TSA? TSA is the Technological Student Association, and what you can do is you choose a competition, you can participate it with lots of opponents. So, it's basically like a competition series. So first you participate in your state. Then if you get top three, top two, or first in your state, it depends on the competition. So if you get a high enough rank to proceed to nationals, you proceed to nationals. And in nationals, you go against people from all over the United States. So how to get into TSA? So you need to have a chapter advisor who can who can help you get into TSA, or you can have a parent as a chapter advisor if you're going by yourself. And my robotics teacher, Miss Carnes, was my chapter advisor. So so after we talk about this, we are going to talk about the competitions you could take. You could take many competitions. I will post the link below of holding all the competitions you can participate in. And let's talk about the TSA experience. So my friend walks up to me and he's like, you want to join our robotics team for TSA?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then I joined his robotics team and we did the work. I didn't do much of the work. My friends did most of the work as I was busy preparing for my second competition. My second competition was data science and analytics. And I did this since I had a mediocre interest in coding. So we did that, and we did TSA. Then the day of nationals came, not nationals, the day of state came, and we were all prepared. We all went, and then first up was robotics, or known as Vex IQ. So there are two rounds in Vex IQ. The first one is where you have to control your robot by yourself using a controller, and the second one is where you use a coding engine to code your robot to do whatever it is. So the challenges change year by year, and so there are some themes and problems. The theme changes year by year, and the problems also change year by year. Then we did state TSA. We named our group Marcel's Kitchen, and our robot had three designs. The first one was Marcel, the second one was Greg, and the third one was Greg the second. So after that, we made it to semifinals, and we got like decimated because people were copying off this champion bot known as Spitfire, created by people who do Vex IQ really well, like professional robot makers. So they copied that, and the judges didn't do anything about it. So I wouldn't say it was our fault that we lost. We had our original robot. So sometimes the judges might put a blind eye on it, but they will take it more seriously once you go to nationals. Or so I've been told. So after Vex IQ, it was data science and analytics. So what I did for data science and analytics was I analyzed four trends, and then I had to provide graphs, maps, and charts about the trends using Google Trends. Then I also did some predictions to predict how they're doing in the future, and I used time series analysis to show them how they're doing now. Then I gave my presentation. I did a Google Slides, so I gave my presentation to the judges. Then I left. The judges took a brief moment to discuss. Then I asked them, and they said that we have no reason to disqualify you. And just saying here, the reasons you get disqualified is one, you don't give what they asked, and you can only do that when you do not read the guidelines. And the guidelines is a long PDF having all the guidelines, and it even has a sheet on what the judges will grade you on. The judges will be using the exact same sheet. So you can print out that sheet, ask your parents or your friends to grade you using that sheet, and you will be prepared. So, anyways, so I didn't get disqualified. They said that I didn't have no reason to get disqualified. My information was neat and concise, and they said that I got first place. So I'm like, wow, I got first place, and they gave me this medal, the TSA Golden Medal for Oklahoma TSA. So after that, I also got this trophy. You can see that over here. And currently it's in the school in a trophy case. And then after that, they gave me some feedback. Then I read the feedback. I revamped my presentation. I also added more concise time series analysis. And then it was time for nationals. So nationals changes every year. So this year it was held in Dallas, Texas, 2021 to 2022. It was held in Dallas, Texas. Next year it will be held somewhere in Kentucky. So yeah, just some information. Then we went to nationals. We went to Texas. We got rooms at a Hilton Hotel, and you're staying all by yourself. If you're with a parent, you stay with your parent, or you stay by yourself. I shared a room with two other people doing various competitions. So then we checked in, we explored a bit, and then the next day it was time for TSA Nationals. So at the start they give like a brief 1 hour and 1.5 hour meeting where they introduce the TSA staff, and then every year there's some elections also happen. So you can be around on that. And then after the elections happen, competitions happen. And you should also attend a general interest session, which after your competition, instead you're like roaming freely around, wasting time. Instead of that, you have to attend a general interest session. And a general interest session is when a person from another organization comes and they talk to us about their organization, their mission, and everything. So I attended one from the American Cancer Society, and I also attended one where they showed us a robot dog. And that was fun. Then we all went out to dinner, we ate, we came, we slept, and then we repeated. Then they had the award ceremony where basically they call the 10 finalists to the stage. Then they give the third place trophy, the second place trophy, and the first place trophy. And I had about 20 competitors. I made it to preliminary. I passed. I had to submit a presentation. So you have to submit something on paper. So I printed out my presentation, like cut out some stuff, revamped it a bit, and then we submitted our presentation. Me and my teammate Caroline. So we submitted our presentation. Then after that, we made it to the semifinals, and in the semifinals, they were giving you two CSVs or two Excel files, and you were supposed to analyze them. So I hopped them into my Jupyter notebook, and you get a very short time. So I thought using a Jupyter notebook would be nice. So I plotted out the graphs. We saw seasonality, we saw trends, we saw causality, and all that. We explained it to them, and then we made it to the semifinals. But then we couldn't make it to the finals, as maybe we messed up somewhere, but we can always use this experience to help us get better next year. So TSA, you can do TSA in middle school and high school. Middle school is seventh. I think sixth graders can do this too. So sixth graders, seventh graders, eighth graders, and ninth graders all are middle school. Then 10th, 11th, and 12th graders are high school. So yeah, that is the TSA experience. So before we end this video, I'm going to give you some tips on what to do. So tip number one, prepare. If you know your material well, you will do great. Second thing, check your guidelines. If you don't check your guidelines, they can easily disqualify you. Third, maintain the dress code, because the dress code is basically the TSA shirt and their TSA tie, and I currently don't have that with me, so I wore this tie. You are allowed to wear it when you're freely roaming around, but when presenting, you have to take it off or wear the TSA tie. And then you also have to wear green slacks and a belt. So that is the TSA dress code. And then after that, you can also use the rubric the judges gave you in the big PDF. You can find that in their website. I'll put that in the description. And yeah, these are the tips. And I hope seeing you at TSA next year. So this is it. Thank you guys for watching. This is Karim with Goutham, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day and enjoy your week.